In this video, we are going to discuss about the structure and function of DAQ systems. By the end of this topic, the students will be able to understand the foundational configuration of data acquisition hardware ecosystem. They can able to analyze the role of each processing subsystem from physical system to digital display, how they can evaluate the engineering constraints of signal conditioning, including amplification and filtering, and how these integrated circuits handle multiple biomedical channels simultaneously without any crosstalk or signal degradation. So these are the contents we are going to discuss. So what is data acquisition system? Data acquisition is the formal process of sampling the signals that measures the real world physical conditions, and it converts those resulting samples into digital or numerical values. So these digital values can be manipulated, analyzed and stored by a computer or a microcontroller. In case of biomedical engineering, this DAQ system serves as a bridge. That is, it takes the real world data such as electrical activity of the heart, physical pressure value variations or core body temperature, and translates that to a digital language so that software algorithms can track and interact with it. So the three pillars of the data acquisition is sensor, signal conditioning and analog to digital converters. So looking at the schematic block diagram, the components you can see is sensors or transducers, which is actually interfacing with the physical medium to translate the parameters like temperature or force into proportional electrical signal. Second, you can see the signal conditioning. So the signal conditioning which cleans or amplifies and pre-processes the raw noisy electrical outputs coming from our sensor. The next one is the analog to digital converters. So in analog to digital converters, a semiconductor chip is there that samples the conditioned analog voltage and outputs a high resolution stream of binary numbers straight to the computer system. Here the process begins on the far left with the physical variable that undergoes the measurement, and the sensor will transfer the variable into raw analog signals. So because the raw signals are often very weak, so frequently which we are using very microvolt or millivolt ranges only, they are very highly suspected to noise, so they can pass immediately through the signal conditioning block. Once purified, this signal will enter into the DAQ module where it undergoes the analog to digital conversion, and this digital stream is transmitted through the local computer bus interface to the processor, where the application software takes it over to handle the final visualization, or we can use it in the alarm triggering or in the data logging. And if you see the transducer, it directly converts the physical to a measurable electrical signal like voltage, current or resistance. Depending on this engineering target only, the type of sensors will be varying dramatically. So in the case of signal conditioning, means the raw transducer signals are rarely optimized for direct signal conversion. So while we are going for the grounding issues, to correct the measurements, we must use proper the grounding systems. And once the analog signal is properly conditioned, it reaches the ADC and the computer software system to complete its journey. So this analog to digital chip will takes the continuous analog voltage waveform, and simultaneously it gives to the fixed intervals. So this data will be handled to the computer, and finally the dedicated driver will analyze through access a communication link and allowing this operating system to register to the DAQ, and finally the application software built on the environments like LabVIEW or MATLAB will present the information to the user interface. Thank you.